Alright guys, welcome back to another video. My name is CFI Munden. If you guys like this video and this content, if you guys can leave a like and subscribe, that would help a lot. Also, if you guys want private lessons out of the Boise, Idaho area, Caldwell, Meridian, Nampa, whatever, email me at cfimunden@gmail.com. So this is one of the more wholesome videos I think that I've posted as of late. And it starts off with a student who it sounds like she has a bad landing. And then she commences something called a go around, where when you have a bad landing, instead of following through with the bad landing and getting more unstable and potentially risking damaging the aircraft, you essentially start a go around procedure, which is, well, I'm not going to get into the procedure, but you start flying away from the runway, restabilize the aircraft, retract your flaps, and then try again. Okay, so she's basically trying again. So it sounds like the first one went kind of rough. Huge shout out to the ATC controller in this. This guy is absolutely amazing. He's super patient, he's calm, he's cool, he's collect, which was absolutely critical in handling this situation. And I think that had he not handled it the way that he did, this could have ended differently. So yeah, huge shout out to this air traffic controller here. I mean, I'm really happy to hear this. This is a great video to listen to. Also, go ahead and give VAS Aviation a follow. I'll link them below.
Alpha Tower, this is Foxtrot Yankee Alpha.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, you can pull up, go around.
This is not a good idea. This is a big, I don't think I should have went today. I wasn't ready. I really messed up that landing.
Yeah, so it sounds like she had a really bad landing. She might have landed side-loaded, hard, flat, whatever it is. She commences a go-around, and now she's just full panic mode at this point.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, you were doing great on that approach there. Just continue on runway heading there, and I will coach you through into the other circuit, okay? So don't worry about it, and just continue climbing there to 1,500 feet.
I feel like I need to get out right now. This is not a good idea.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, just climb for me to 1,500 feet. Make sure you give it some power there to the engine there. Climb to 1,500 feet, then I will coach you along for another try. No worries.
I'm sorry. I was doing so good before. I don't know what happened.
Don't worry, you're still doing great, okay? Just climb up to 1,500 feet for me, and just stay on that altitude. You don't need to...
I mean, one of the things that's like really standing out at this point is the controller's tone and his attitude. He is so calm and he's so reassuring. And the first thing that he does is he immediately offers her a solution. And the solution is, hey, don't worry. I'm going to coach you through this. We're going to get through this. I will help you through the circuit and maintain this altitude for me and maintain this runway heading. Because at this point, she's completely panicked and she's completely overwhelmed. So he's allocating more help to her to kind of relieve that suffering that she's going through right now.
To turn her in. Just stay straight and climb up to 1,500 feet for me.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You're doing great. So don't worry about it. Just climb up to 1,500 feet for me, and I'll get back to you in just a few seconds here. Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, I'd like you to start a left turn now, heading 120. Heading 120. Left turn.
Foxtrot Yankee.
Yeah, this student is just
climb...
completely defeated at this point, and it sounds like she's kind of resigning a little bit. It sounds like she's getting a little bit more calm, but at this point, resignation is starting to set in. It sounds like she has a slight tone of like wanting to give up, but she's not, and this controller is helping her a lot.
To 2,000 feet.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha. Oshra Tower, this is Foxtrot Yankee Alpha's instructor.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha's instructor.
Tower, where's Foxtrot Yankee Alpha currently in the circuit?
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha is currently, I put her 3 miles south of the field now. I'm going to set her up for about a 3-mile final at 2,000 feet for runway 30.
Okay, 3-mile final.
She could be at 1,000 feet, approximately 1 mile back. That would be excellent. Over the blue building, you can tell her.
1,000 feet over the blue buildings on final, you said? That's what...
So he's setting her up for a 3-mile final. So this is Oshawa Executive. So it's in Toronto. And right now she's about out here. No, she's getting set up for a 3-mile final. So she's somewhere around this area, okay? So she's out here. The instructor comes online and says, if you can set her up at this altitude, that would be really helpful over the blue buildings. So it sounds like the instructor and her have developed like a VFR waypoint that she's familiar with. So at this point, oh, okay, so the blue buildings are right here. So at this point, what is this? estates, some kind of park. So at this point, the instructor's just saying, hey, just get to this point. I want you to be at 1,000 feet over these blue buildings, and that'll set you up for a good final. So she's just trying to help the student gain some more situational awareness.
So that's where you want her at?
Affirmative, with 20 degrees of flap and 65 knots.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, you can start a left turn now. Left turn heading 050.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha.
And for the aircraft on Bravo waiting to depart, you can expect another 5 minutes delay minimum.
She's over here. She's on like a
moment. Thanks for your patience. Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, I'd like you to do another left turn heading 000. Just fly 000 straight north for me.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha.
Or she was on the downwind.
So Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, you're doing great. In about another mile or so, I'm going to give you instructions for another left turn. That's going to set you up on final for runway 30. You're going to be about 5 miles out.
Okay, gotcha.
It's just preparing you there. And your instructor is on frequency. She's going to be talking to you here shortly. But just a reminder, she says she wants you at on a 1 mile final over the blue buildings at 20% flap and at 65 knots. I say again, 20% flaps, 65 knots. On about a 1 mile final.
So at this point, the instructor is having to coach and guide the student about when to be at 20-degree flaps and certain speed at certain points. So they're just pretty much putting on the training wheels again, helping her out, assisting her in every way possible. I can tell you right now, I have not sent up a single student yet, at least not yet, where this has ever happened, and this student was definitely not ready. I don't know if there was any signs and signals that this student wasn't ready beforehand. I don't know what the CFI's experience is, but if you're having to break it down to this level at this point on a solo, I'm sure that there were some signs and signals that this student wasn't ready.
But you will be talking to her here momentarily in about just 1 minute.
Okay.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, you can start the left turn now, heading 300. That will put you straight on final for runway 30.
Okay, now this
left
point
turn
she's
heading 300.
over here, and now he's
Alpha.
turning her heading 300, which is final. So now she's over here. She's going to be looking for these blue
Foxtrot
buildings.
Yankee Alpha's instructor, are you on frequency still?
Affirmative, Foxtrot Yankee Instructor.
Okay, Foxtrot Yankee Alpha's instructor. I'm not talking to anybody else except Foxtrot Yankee Alpha. I have her set up on about a 4 mile final at the moment. She's at 1,500 feet, and you can start talking to her.
Okay, excellent. Could you please let me know when she's on a 3 mile final?
Sure thing. So Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, continue on that heading there. You're lined up with the runway, correct? Do you have the runway in sight?
Yes, affirmative, Foxtrot Yankee Alpha.
And Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, just watch your speed and altitude, okay? So stay at 1,500 feet until you start.
This instructor, not this instructor, but this tower controller is doing such a good job.
Talking to your instructor, and just continue inbound, and you'll be talking to her here shortly in the next few seconds.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha's instructor, she is now on a 3 mile final at 1,500 feet. I'll let you take over.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so here's the blue buildings.
Okay, Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, I'd like you to reduce your power to 1.
The instructor, given the situation, she's also doing a really, really good job at staying calm too, because she could have easily come on the line and been frustrated, like, what are you doing? You know better than this, or you know what you're doing. Don't worry. And she could have easily come in this with a really bad attitude or frustration or even like nervousness or scared, because when you sign your student on for a solo, it is a big deal, okay?
1,800. Okay. And at this point, I'd like you to be at 70 knots. Okay, I'm at 70 knots. Can you see the blue roof building? Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, can you see those blue roof buildings? Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, can you see those blue roof?
So if you guys are listening, these blue buildings don't have any significance to the flight outside of they're just using this as a reference point.
Building?
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha's instructor, this is the control tower. She's on about a 1.5 mile final now, and I'm not sure why she's not answering you there, but the Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, are you on frequency?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything she said.
Oh, okay, she's asking if you're seeing the blue buildings.
Yes, I'm seeing the blue buildings. What altitude are you at, Foxtrot Yankee Alpha?
What altitude are you at, Foxtrot Yankee Alpha?
She should be at about 1,000
still
right now.
kind of, I'm sorry, I'm like...
Yeah, so she's anticipating coming back in for a landing. Essentially, she's been traumatized at this point. She's thinking about the landing, and as a new student, as you get closer and closer to that runway, you start thinking more and more about what you're going to have to do, and people get psyched out here. But she says, I'm sorry, I'm braking, I'm freaking out right now.
Freaking out right now.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, just start climbing just slightly, please. Start climbing, Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, start climbing a bit.
Okay, so it sounds like she's getting low.
Okay.
Her brain is just shut off, so I call this lizard brain mode, where the student's brain just kind of turns off, and they're not really taking instructions anymore. You get to break things down really simply, and yeah.
Yankee Alpha's instructor.
They're just in survival mode.
She's about half a mile final now, just below the tree lines there, so I'm having her pull up just slightly.
Okay, could you set her up with 1,800 RPM?
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, set up at 1,800 RPM, 1,800 RPM.
Okay. And be at 65 knots.
And 65 knots, please.
It's not, like, it's not staying at, I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now.
Okay, this is a really bad sign. This also tells me that this student is not ready to solo. When she says it's not staying at, I don't know, I don't think, I know what's happening right now, she's referring to the instrument. So I don't know what she's saying is not staying at. It could be her altitude. It could be her power settings. It could be her airspeed. Either way, at this point in time on a solo, this is not something that you should be still trying to figure out. Is how to get your airspeed to a certain point, how to get your flaps down to a certain point, your glide slope. This should have been figured out a long time ago. And I get it. She's panicking, lizard brain mode, but this is something that should have been hashed out already.
I think I need to increase power, but it feels like I'm thinking.
Foxtrot Alpha, yep. I have you in sight now. You're over the tree lines. You're on final, about quarter mile final, runway 30. Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, you are cleared to land runway 30.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha. Please tell her to pitch down slightly to maintain 65 knots.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha, pitch down slightly.
Okay, the instructor is making sure that she's pitched down at 65 knots because the alternative is being slow, nose high, and then the instructor is just ensuring that she doesn't induce a stall at this point.
To maintain 65 knots.
Okay.
So a good landing, it'll generally happen around 1,000 footers right here.
Please tell her to idle power.
Idle power now, Foxtrot Yankee Alpha. Very well done, Foxtrot
Right on the
Yankee
1,000
Alpha, very
footers. This was a good, I mean, she landed, I don't know how the landing was, but I mean, I'm looking at those 1,000 footers and she seemed to have landed pretty well.
Well done. You can exit your convenient right, any right turn you like, and you can contact ground on 118.4.
Foxtrot Yankee Alpha.
Oh, she's so defeated at this point.
Tower, thank you very much. I'm going to have to bring you donuts later.
Yeah, no worries. It was a team effort.
Crazy, crazy. So what's the takeaways from this is, one, as a flight instructor, it's I don't want to say it's hard to tell when your student's ready, but you'll get to a point where you start to understand that, okay, yeah, the student maybe doesn't feel ready, and that's important, but they're doing everything correctly. However, after a certain point, if the student's like, I'm not ready, but they're hitting all their marks, there's also an emotional aspect that you have to consider too, is the student emotionally ready to do a solo? Because that's a big deal. All pilots remember their first solo. The first time that you're in that seat and you look over and there's no instructor next to you, it's pretty intimidating. So props to the air traffic controller for saying super calm, and even the flight instructor for saying super calm. This student was definitely 100% not ready. If you're saying things like, I don't know how to control my airspeed or my power or whatever it is, we don't know what she's talking about. That's not a good sign. And this is just one of those unfortunate situations where, someone had a bad landing, started panicking, and it kind of all just went downhill from there. But this could have been a lot worse depending on how they handled this situation. But anyways, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, and go ahead and follow VAS Aviation too. All right. I'll see you guys.